Hey everybody, I'm just getting all set up here. A little late getting started today. Because I was actually downstairs watching a movie. Turner Classic had a couple weeks ago put on like a bunch of B movies instead of their usual like kind of cruddy stuff. Like, oh, if I watch one more, like, oh gosh, like today was a bunch of well-regarded movies about divorces. Who knows why? I don't know why. Anyway, I was downstairs watching, I think it was called Battle Beneath the Earth or something. It was actually way more enjoyable than a movie of that low production value should be. Because it was basically like a 1930s or 40s style serial, except it was a feature film. And they were very mod, because it was from like 1967, I think is what the Roman numerals said. And that's okay with me. Alright. I think we can get this party started. We're listening to, what is this album I picked today? This is Shadow's Guild, it says here. I don't think I've listened to this one before. But given that I've been playing Skyrim a lot, apparently I picked a good choice here, because it's very, very fantastic. So let's see. We got books. Let me separate out stuff. Is that okay? That's where I want to be. Cool. So Ninja Weasel, Eli Easy, hello and welcome. Oh, if you were looking at this when I first started out, and I was packing this back in the bag, I did a review of this earlier today. You can check it out if you want. It's like superheroes that are also musicians. Okay, great. Oh man, I think I might have left my bit rate super high. I hope the stream looks okay. Greeting, Dr. Elizibar. Hey, yeah, hello. I hope the stream looks okay and it's not taking up too much of your bandwidth. It's still cranked up from playing Skyrim last night, so that's my bad. When I go from playing Skyrim to doing anything else, I gotta like change all the settings in OBS here. Anyway, from the 50-cent bin, I just picked up a bunch of DC stuff. These books aren't in the greatest shape. They've been read. I think from the way the cover feels, they've probably been exposed to moisture. But, you know, some Chuck Dixon Robin. And everybody knows I like Superman. I know Ninja Weasel doesn't. But that's okay. God, you gotta love Mullet Head Superman. I don't know why they ever stopped Mullet Head Superman. I like Stars. Eagerly waiting on issue 2. Hotel Internet's not freaking out. That's a surprise. Whoa! Okay, so I flip open The Adventures of Superman, right? And you're expecting, you know, you're gonna get Superman, like, get punched or something, right? That is. I mean, I guess technically Superman is getting punched, but he's kind of secondary in the image that I just flipped open to. Who did the art on this? Let's see. Barry Kitson is the penciler, James Pascoe is the inker, and Albert de Guzman is the letter. Oh, who did the coloring? Glenn Whitmore. Okay. Well, congrats, guys. That is not what I expected in the Superman book. Ooh. He's all very serious. Sanctimonious little worm, Westfield. Westfield? Hey, that's where I bought a book today. Speaking of back, somebody calls her Mix-a-Lot. Yeah. Well, hello, lady. Exactly. So we go from that to, I flip over a couple pages, and we got like, I don't know, Superman versus Morlock or something. It is certainly kind of a letdown to go from what was there on page 2 and 3 to that. Alright, cool. So who's in this one? Kryptonian No More. Oh, is this like right before he split into red and blue Superman? Is that what's going on here? I can't actually show you like the bottom panel on the left page here. Oh, but I can show you he's got Snapple in front of his TV. Look at that. Product placement in your comic book. And hello, whoever you're supposed to be. Is that supposed to be Lois? Oh yeah, that is supposed to be Lois, according to that. Well, okay, Mrs. Lane, you're looking pretty good. Although, isn't her hair usually darker than that? Ah, Superman is fighting generic costume man. Good job. Okay, well, good job, guys. I have no idea what's going on. Snapple, made from the best stuff on Krypton. Wait, what? Hey, I tell you, the Aldi brand of like bottled tea, like if you don't feel like paying, you know, that extra however much Snapple costs, because Snapple's kind of expensive, like, and you got an Aldi, man, just go get their Binner brand tea. Like, it's their house brand, and it's better than Snapple. It's probably bottled by the same people. We got Robin here. Chuck Dixon. Back when, you know, Robin was strong enough to actually carry a book on his own. The 90s were a crazy time. Okay, Robin on a motorcycle. At least I'm guessing that's Robin on a motorcycle. I mean, it could just be like generic hooded villain or something. I don't know. And spraying hairspray in somebody's face like that is super rude. The rudest Robin. The superheroes used to just have one-off villains. Oh yeah. Ain't that the truth, man? Like, I still remember this one issue of, I don't remember if it was Amazing or Spectacular Web of Spider-Man, but he fought a villain named Hyperion that has never showed up ever again. It's just like a guy in a generic power armor suit or something, and I've never seen this dude again, like, ever. Which, that's kind of cool. They should do that to more Spider-Man villains, because, come on, The Ringer? Seriously? The Ringer. The Ringer. Yeah. The Ringer. Alright, that was the stuff I got out of the 50-cent bin for free at Graham Cracker Comics. If you go to Graham Crackers, you get 3 free books on a Wednesday just for walking in the doors. Looked like Robin had a cigar. Now this, I was supposed to get that last week from Westfield. Oh, this might receive from Graham Crackers. Let's see. You saved $1.50. Wow. Yeah, 10% off, baby. 10% off. Racking up the money. Alright, we'll just throw that receipt away. I don't need that. You know, since I did get paid by Twitch one time for doing this stuff, does that mean I can write this stuff off on my taxes? I wonder. I should talk to my accountant. Miss being able to walk into a shop on a Wednesday. Oof. Big oof. Oh yeah, book of the month. Hotline Miami. I don't know if it's book of the month yet, but I'm sure hoping. I've definitely been enjoying that. And hey, Dark Admiral March Hare. I didn't see you say hi up there, but hello. And wait a minute. Elizibar buys comes from villains. You heard it here. Oh, Westfield. I missed that. I missed that line too. Man, all right. I got high hopes. The hopes I have are high. So now, last issue, if I remember right, they were totally killing a mobster at his son's birthday party or something, and things went sideways very quickly. This looks totally different. It is totally different. I have no idea who this dude is, but this looks like something like the Sun when he's like tripping at the end of Hotline Miami 2. This is totally what that looks like. Completely different art style. Must be a completely different artist. Let's see. Intermission number 2. Useless. Oh, well. I guess that explains why it's a different art style. Hey, this must be the battle in Hawaii. That dude appears to be missing his lower legs. That's a rough one. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to change my mind when I sit down to read it. But the different art style is really not selling me on the book this month. So maybe it's not book of the month. I don't know. I'll have to read it. Appreciate Suzanne. He's like Gritty's methed out cousin. And now, all the books I got at Graham Cracker Comics. Woo! This one came from Westfield. I should have picked it up last week, but true story. True story. I kind of have been avoiding things like checking my email and Twitter DMs and stuff for a while. So I didn't see the email from them saying the book was in till Thursday. So here we are today with the book. True story. Nothing but true facts here. Unless I say otherwise, I might tell you something that's not a true fact, but I'll tell you it's not a true fact first. Knights of the Golden Sun, the book you always get late despite it being on your pull. Yeah. There's 2 issues from the original set, like the original 7 that I missed. I think it's like 4 and 5. Because my shop was supposed to get them, but my shop didn't get them. Just kind of how it goes sometimes. And Mad Cave, when I went to... They actually sold me like the first couple issues. Let's see. I told my shop man when issue 2 was out, hey, can you get this for me? And he didn't get it for me until like issue 6. And you couldn't get back issues. But Mad Cave, before they had a website store, actually sold me the first 3 issues, I think? Maybe first 4 issues, like right off of Facebook. I'm just like, yo guys, I hate to bug you, because I know you're busy, but can you hook me up? And they totally hooked me up, which was very, very cool of them. Now they got a store and stuff, and when I went to go buy like issue 5 or something from the store, they were like, as soon as the store went up, they sold out of everything. So, I sure didn't get it, and I'm not paying scalpers for it, because that's stupid. So there's like 2 issues where I don't actually know what happened, but I just kind of roll with it. It's an interesting book. Thematically, a lot of the ideas and stuff here are very similar to the Prophecy movies, which, if you've ever seen, you know you should just watch because there's Christopher Walken in it, and he plays the angel Gabriel. So there's a lot of like interesting ideas like that in this book. I still don't know if I actually like the art or not. Sometimes it looks great, and sometimes it looks terrible. And I don't know why. And it always looks very Photoshop. Like, there's it just looks like it's Photoshopped. Every time. Every page. Sometimes you get some really cool stuff happening. Like, I have no idea what's going on here, why one person is being eaten by like a giant shark, or maybe it's just a mer person. I don't know. Who knows what's going on here? And then we got somebody else over here in this cool idyllic tree setting, and just cool stuff, man. It's just fun to read. I stopped doing reviews of these because I don't know that I can actually review it, which is kind of a weird statement. This, oh man, so I walk in. Yeah, I walk into Graham Crackers. My shop man hands me 3 books. And I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, I forgot about this. Oh, I forgot about that. But I remembered Vampirella. And he was like, did I miss one? I'm like, no, I think this is everything. I just forgot about Wolverine. So I was very surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, man. 2/3 of that is really great. So I was like, sounds like the previous issues, because 2/3 of each of those was pretty great. Super light week for you. Did a Dark Hammer March here. Got a copy of Masters of the Universe #1 Marvel Star Comics. Hey, there's nothing on the rack that really grabbed me. Well, that's got to be worth something, man. Because if it's in the Star comic imprint, that means mid to late 80s. And it's a #1, and it's Masters of the Universe. That's got to be worth, like, I don't know, $20? I bet that went for $20. We'll find out here in a minute, I'm sure. We're all sitting here waiting. He's not going to answer. He dumped that bomb on us and he left. He's like, I'm getting out of here. You're about right on the money. Hey, that was a complete blind guess. That's funny. Anyway, let's crack this open, man, because in each of the previous issues, I've really liked, like, part of it. Some of it was pretty good, and then one of them just kind of fell flat. And I think I'm already sold on the book. Yep. Definitely already sold on the contents of this comic book. $30. It was a super clean copy. It was typing. Hey, man. I'm just giving you flack, man. Cool. Well, I wasn't too far off. Dude, just soak in this page. I don't know necessarily that I like all the line work on it, but it is super striking. The black, white, and red format that they've went through. Or that they went to for this series. Like, it has been super duper l'effective. That's French, it means the effective. The sheer Grindel that started that whole black, white, and red thing? Honestly, it was probably Frank Miller, dude. So, it probably wasn't she, but it might have been Grindel. Grindel's old enough, isn't it? But otherwise, I think that's something that you can probably thank Frank Miller for. Let's look up Grindel here. I don't actually know the full history of Grindel. Originally a noir comic in the style of European titles such as Diabolic, it has evolved into, in Wagner's words, a study of the nature of aggression. Yeah, okay. So March 1983. Yeah, I think we can blame Grindel, probably. See, picked up Morbius #1, but the art inside was awful and lazy. I don't know. I don't even look at Marvel anymore. When I go in my store, one side of the aisle is like the sales counter, and there's like indie books, and there's like toys and stuff in the back. And then on the other side, there's DC and Marvel. And so when I go in the store, I go whoosh, pick up my pull list, come up, and then there's the midpoint, and I stop at the 50-cent bin right here. And then I'd check out. I don't even walk the Marvel side. I didn't even know Morbius #1 was out. The last time I walked the Marvel side was... to pick up Amazing Mary Jane #1. I think that might have been the last time I intentionally walked the Marvel side. Maybe I walked over there... like in October or something, looking for some dollar books from the dollar reprint line or something. The Spirit. Somebody give me a tie, and it better not... Oh, I gotta admit, I kind of like that movie. It's so over everything. It is so over everything. Great stuff. I'm not missing much. I kind of feel like I'm not, man. Outside of a very limited selection of Marvel titles, where by their nature they have to be kind of like old school Marvel comics, so Savage Avengers and this. There's nothing really that like interests me. You know, it's like I don't want to see a comic about people sitting around eating cookies in a cafe sipping tea. Like, if I want that book, I will go seek that book out. I don't want like that in my superhero comic necessarily, unless like one of the superheroes is like a gourmand or something and that's their thing. You know, if you look at older books, yeah, there would be scenes in kitchens and dining rooms and stuff, but that was usually just kind of like a backdrop. The fact that there was food was incidental, as opposed to, oh hey, I see you're having tea and cookies. May I please join you? Oh yes, you may. You may join me. Why, thank you. I also would like to enjoy these cookies with you. Like, that is not a Marvel comic. You love that movie too? Yeah. And let's see, there was a bad comment up there. You know what never falls flat? Vampirella yoinked off stage. Yep. I applaud you, sir. Back issue trades, and yep. You know, I do keep, every time I'm in Westfield, I walk in their manga aisle, and I'm like, man, I should buy more Junji Ito books, right? Like, I should totally, like, get Gyo or something here. Because, I mean, I got Uzumaki, like, right here, man. I keep it right above my computer. But you know what the thing is about that? I haven't read it. I mean, I've read Uzumaki before, but I haven't read that copy. And I got Frankenstein, I think, over my bookshelf over there. And I've never read Frankenstein at all. And I've had these books for like 2.5 years. You'd think I'd read them at some point, but no. So I'm restricting myself from buying more Junji Ito until I read the Junji Ito I already own. Rather similar to... Let me get it. I have also had this sitting here right above my monitors for like 2 years, and I haven't read it. So I'm not buying any more weird spy stuff until I finally get around to reading Modesty Blaze. Man, this is a beautiful book, too. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a little crink in the corner that I think is my fault. I don't think it was there when I bought it. But the line art and the stuff is just fantastic. Like, when you realize these dudes were just cranking this stuff out like machines, it's impressive. Anyway, I bought that a couple years ago. Still got to read it. And I got other random books up here that are on my I need to read this list, and I'm just not reading them. And I'm forbidding myself from buying more of that stuff until I do read it. Okay, let me get back here. Let's see. Did I mention to you about Nothing Man showing up in Act? Oh, you did mention that. And I just realized I forgot to tell my shop man to get that for me. It's part of their, one of their anthology series, but I forget which one. Exciting Comics? Is that the one? I think it might be Exciting Comics. I picked up like issue 1 of that and it was lame. See, Junji Ito has been cranking out new books lately. I saw some books I didn't recognize on the shelf. Antarctic, I'm only reading Venom and Spider-Man from Marvel, and hopefully X-Men's Legends doesn't let me down. You just read Ramina by Ito. I don't think I've ever read Ramina. Anyway, let's flip to a new page in this Wolverine book. I mean, not that I'm not enjoying the page I'm on, but I want to see another one. No, that looks spoilery. This looks like the start of something. I don't know if I like this one. It doesn't look like a Wolverine comic. Maybe it is, though. Maybe it turns out to be pretty good. I don't know. I have to read it and find out. Alright, Vampirella. You know what? I gotta be careful with this because sometimes they put stuff in here that would get me in trouble with YouTube, and this is a totally different artist. Did we change artists? What's up with this? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Gunduz, or however you pronounce that, is still on the book, just a couple pages of it. So the rest of this is Szymon Kudranski. I don't even know who that is. Because this looks like a totally, completely different style. Now, they have had, like, different artists in certain stories, because the way the plot was built, there was, like, 17 different stories going on simultaneously. So maybe, so I have different artists. Can I show that? That looks like a lot of blood. Oh yeah, this is probably okay to show. So what? She causes a car crash and then eats the cop? Okay, well, she's probably a little unhappy. Interstellar, Book 2, 1969. I don't think this relates to anything I just read in the previous issue. Christopher Priest, stop doing this to me, man. Just give me a story that goes from A to B. I don't need a story that goes like this. Every one of these books is just bouncing around completely random, and it's gonna make me break down one day. And that's why I don't review Vampirella books anymore. I have no idea what's going on in them or how they relate to each other most of the time. Oh, Lord. We're just gonna put this aside, and you can enjoy the cover a little bit. And then, a book I was looking forward to and forgot was coming out this week until I saw it. The Map Maker. By Ben. See? Right there. He's a pretty cool guy. So, I'll tell the story of how this book got into my store. So there I was, back in December, right before Final Order cutoff. And I was like, man, my dude, Sean, my man, my comic dude, I need you to give me the hookup. He's like, what do you need hooked up? And I'm like, get me the Map Maker. He's like, oh yeah? I'm like, yeah, Ben's a cool dude. And Ben is a cool dude. I got a little statuette of one of his Exilium characters over there. I didn't buy it. He just sent it to me. It came as, like, I bought like the $40 tier on the graphic novel that they did. And in that tier, I got like the 6 issues of Exilium that were printed for Cloud Comics or something. It was like his original printing. And they ended up getting shipped with like my Alterna Comics shipment. And it was in a big box, not a Stay Flat photo mailer. Because there's probably some other stuff in there too. And they just threw that statue in. So I'm pretty sure Ben told Peter Samedi to put the statue in there or whatever. And he's a cool dude. Like, I've talked to him a little bit. He sent me like a preview of his comic about the siege at Vienna and stuff. This is a cool dude. And so I was like, yeah, give me the hookup, Sean. Ben's a cool dude. He's like, oh yeah, he's a cool dude. I'm like, yeah, Ben's a cool dude. He's like, all right, since you want 1, I'll buy 3. Sure enough, when I went in there were 3. Now, Sean did forget to actually put this in my pull list. Fortunately, now, I'm walking along down the indie aisle, right? And there's like a dude here and a dude here. And this dude here is standing right in front of M's. So the book is on the bottom shelf, kind of hidden behind, some other stuff. And so I walk by the guy and I don't see it. But I'm over here, I'm looking at like, the P's or whatever. Just like casually glancing along, and I see kind of out of the corner of my eye, like, I see like, this. Maybe it's not a good perspective, but you get the idea. Like, I could just barely see it. And something in my mind went, hey, Slabak? Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name, man. It's Slabak. I don't know how to pronounce that. And I know I get it wrong every time, no matter how I'm doing it. So I just try to avoid saying his name unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, cool dude. So I could barely see it. And my brain went, you're forgetting something. So I go around the rest of the store. I walk by the DC stuff. I shake my head ruefully at all the future state crap that's on the shelf there, because I'm not going to read any of it. I glance in the direction of Marvel, and I realize I'm already holding the only good book over there in my hand right here. I sigh. I turn. I hit the 50-cent bin. And those 3 books, those 3 DC books here, they were just all together, like right at the front of a box. Boom! Just grabbed them all. And then I look back over at the indie stuff, and I'm like, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting something. So I turn back, and I go over there, and I look down, and there it is. The Map Maker. An angelic chorus started singing. Not really, but if this was in a movie, an angelic chorus would totally start singing at that moment in time. I picked it up and I walked back up there to Sean. And I'm like, yeah, man. I handed him like all the books. I'm like, Sean, I'm the reason that you bought this. And he's like, oh yeah? And I'm like, yeah, man. I told you, like, give me the hookup, and you said, yeah, I'm gonna buy 3. And then he remembered the conversation that I'd remembered, and I got my 10% discount on $1.99, baby. Woo! Save some money. Now, all told, I guess this was kind of a relatively light week for me as well. I mean, I only ended up with like 5 brand new books here. That ain't that many. But I got a feeling. I got a good feeling that I'm going to actually enjoy every one of these books. We didn't crack open the map maker yet. Let's crack this open. The page has got a nice feel to it. It actually feels kind of heavy, which is weird for a floppy. I already knew what the art style was going to look like. Very cartoony. This book is like meant for a younger audience. But you know what? Even looking cartoony, this still looks better than some comic books I paid actual money for, as opposed to $1.99. So, I don't really know what it's supposed to be about. I've tried to avoid any kind of spoilers. But, knowing the writer, I almost said knowing the artist, but knowing the writer, I got a pretty good guess that I'm going to enjoy reading that book. Alright, my dudes, my friends, my dudettes, my whatever else's are out there, whoever's hanging out, watching, hanging out with me, I'm going to bounce. I've been going for about a half hour. This has been a pretty good album to listen to, but all this fantasy music just makes me want to go play Skyrim. And I'm already addicted to it to begin with, so this ain't healthy. It is not healthy for me to be listening to this music while trying to talk about comic books, because I just want to go stab people in the face with broken swords. Side of here. LCS is having a hard time keeping manga in stock. Waiting for a couple volumes for Attack on Titan and Dorohedoro. You know, before I buy any more manga, I need to finish Planetes, or however that's pronounced. Planetes. I really like the first 3 volumes of that, which I own. I saw, when I was in Westville, there's this big old, gigantic omnibus #1, and I think it just has the stuff I've already read in it. I need to finish that off, and I guess Priest is technically a manhwa and not a manga, but I totally need to get that too and finish that off. I've got most of the volumes, I'm just missing the last 3. That was a pretty fun book too. It's a shame the movie has absolutely nothing to do with it though. It's so weird. Hollywood, why you do this to me? Anyway, I am going to bounce now, so thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Much love. Represent. All that kind of stuff. I'm getting tired. Maybe I shouldn't play Skyrim. Maybe I should just go to bed. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I hit stop here.